Everyone, it's Renee with Delaney Jane Cards. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a super cute, fun image for you. Whimsy Stamps had this digital image, and it's a dragon. I think his name is actually Dudley. So I've been told by my friend Marie, but he is the hoarder of the toilet paper. I think the whole toilet paper situation is his fault, and I can prove it to you. Just let's watch. So here I did zoom in on my coloring. I used a green combination that I normally, I guess, don't use. G24, G46. Oh, I'll show you the next one in a minute. I think it was G28 maybe, and then BG78. I know, kind of an odd duck of a combination. Yeah, G28. But it made the most perfect dragon color that I could think of, I think. And I kind of wanted this super neutral green tone for the dragon because I wanted to do this super fun rainbow belly on him. I just thought he was hysterical with his wound up toilet paper, and I thought that would be super cool to make him super bright and fun and happy. And rainbows are like the symbol of hope. And if you've been hanging around Facebook anytime, in the last month, 2 months, 3 months, you'll know that everybody is in need of some hope right now. And so I wanted to incorporate the rainbow into him, and I didn't want to just like color him rainbow. So I went with the tried and true green for the dragon, and then I made him colorful. But I did use that BG78 as my deepest, darkest tone, which is not a green. I just thought it really deepened up that shadow for him. And I just really liked this color combination. I don't know. How do you feel about this green? This is not a go-to green for me, and I have no idea what the color is going to end up like a lot of times. I just pull colors that I think might look good together, and I make them go together. I don't know how you color. I mean, I do use my hex chart a lot, and I do use my regular Copic chart a lot, and I do use the number system on them a lot, but not always. Not always. So I did simple 2 color blends, and that cap was it was running away. It did not want to stay in my hand. I did 2 color blends for the colors, for the purple, the blue. I didn't do green in his stripes because he is green, so I skipped that and I added an aqua. I thought that it would be bright and cheery, and I really like the aqua color, so that's what I did for where the green should be in the rainbow. I did aqua. Like I said, he's green. That's the green. So this image is a digital stamp, and Whimsy Stamps had it available. And you can see here, it's not cut out with my silhouette or anything because my silhouette has been acting up. So I figured I would do something else with him. The other images that were on the sheet, they were all just tore up in my Cameo, so I don't know. We have been working on our relationship, me and the silhouette, and we are working on it. So I just went up his belly here with the rainbow colors and did the little 2 color blends, and then I made sure I did the underside of his tail, and then he has like spikes or whatever on his back, so you can see a few of them there on the top of his head, and then you can see him kind of on his tail. So I just added the rainbow colors where you could see them, kind of skipped around because you wouldn't see them all, and you know what I'm saying, right? You know what I'm talking about. So I did just fill in all these little spikes on his tail to bring in some more of that color. I thought he was just so fun this way with the rainbow belly and just the rainbow. I don't know. Just the rainbows right now are super important to the world. Like I said, they're a sign of hope. We did the rainbow hearts on our house. Not sure if you've seen those groups where they have the rainbow hearts and stuff. It's just about making sure people know, especially the essential workers, know that you appreciate them. The people that bring the toilet paper, we appreciate you. My husband, he drives a truck, and he is an essential worker, and I'm telling you, I am a nervous wreck that he is out every day, but I appreciate him, and I'm hoping that you appreciate whoever is in your life that has to go out and work just to keep everything kind of functioning for now. They're very important. So here I was adding a little more shading to my dinosaur dragon. He's a dragon, right? And then I was messy when I colored him. And at this point I realized, well, the toilet paper was getting all messed up. And I realized that I wasn't going to fussy cut him. I needed to do something else. So I used that colorless blender to blend it out. And then I used a gray here to just shade the toilet paper. I don't think I ever thought I would ever say that. I needed to shade the toilet paper. Like, what? What is this? What? Why? It just makes, I don't know, makes me giggle that I would have to say I was shading the toilet paper. Anyway, I blended that out here with a lighter C marker, and I will have everything listed in my description box below. And then because well, I was unsure at this point what I wanted to do for his background. So I just kind of finished up the stuff that I knew I needed to color. Oh, I did do this old trick. Sandy Allnock used to do this, where she would add a really light blue color to the eyeballs when she was coloring. So I did that too to make them kind of cartoony. And then, since I was on the Sandy Allnock thought process, I decided I was going to put him in a pile of toilet paper because I think he's got it all. I don't know how you guys are sitting on toilet paper or your area, but my area is like toilet paper deficient. We are fine. As a family, we're fine, but there's people that are not fine, and I feel for you. It's definitely a first world problem, and we can blame it all on this dinosaur. Like, let's just not take the blame as people and let's make it his fault. So I had to put him in this giant pile of toilet paper. I was thinking that he maybe like snuck out at night and like took it from the local Walmart and brought it back to his cave and just had it all piled up, and he flopped down because he was exhausted from carrying all these piles and packages of toilet paper, and he had filled his cave and he plopped down, and that is how he is now covered in toilet paper. At least that's how I see it. So I did speed this up and slow it down in some places so you could see when I do different things, but I sketched everything in with a really, really light gray, and then I went in and I kind of darkened some areas, like where the little tube is in the toilet paper, and then I brought out an even darker gray. These grays are not very dark at all. I think the darkest is C3. They're not dark. But I brought out the darker gray, and then I kind of defined these rolls of toilet paper just a little bit more. I don't want them to be perfect. I don't want them to really look like toilet paper. I mean, like, I don't want them to have nice crisp lines like he's got, but I wanted it to look like a pile of toilet paper. So after I was that far, I realized his cave is not full enough and I needed to add way more. So I went in with the lighter gray and I did put more toilet paper in. It's just lighter, so it is not as defined. And then I added a shadow underneath him where he would sit. See how still working. I mean, he has gone and taken all the toilet paper, people. All the toilet paper. And I put a shadow underneath him and his pile of toilet paper. Can you see that? Can you see how, like, he's in a cave? I mean, I don't draw a cave or anything, but you can see how he's, like, in his lair or his living room or wherever a dragon lives, you know, because I don't think they live in caves anymore, do they? Because it's, like, the 21st century. Is that right? Is it the 21st century? But I filled his room with toilet paper. He filled his room with toilet paper. And I'm just showing you what his Saturday night looks like. So then I added a little bit of white gel pen detail, and that is my number 10 Jelly Roll pen is my favorite. I love how that one works. And I did blacken his eyeballs up with a black glaze pen. And then I just trimmed him down to a nice little rectangle. I didn't want to trim off too much of his toilet paper because he worked so hard getting all that. And then because the background is white and the toilet paper was drawn in gray, I needed to make the toilet paper look white. So I needed to add a little bit of color so that it looked white against the background. So I really very, very lightly put in a little bit of blue. It just adds the feeling of a background. So who knows, maybe it still is a cave and maybe that's like the back entrance, back door. And then I had printed out the sentiment a bunch of different sizes. And that's one really nice thing about digital images is you can print them any size you want. I was so tempted to print this dragon out on like 85 pieces of paper and color him and put him together and like paste him on the front of my house because I thought it would be hilarious. But I wouldn't know how to color him because I don't want to Copic color a dinosaur dragon toilet paper thief that big. So here I had pulled out a Queen and Company pad and trimmed off. These were just scraps that I keep in my pad. I always just put a rubber band around those 6x6 pads and holds everything in. So I trimmed off some little strips. I used some removable tape. I think it's Scotch. It's called Scotch removable tape. I don't know. It's my favorite in my craft room. It has no like thickness to it, so when I run it through my die cut machines, it doesn't impress into the paper at all. It's really low tack, but it holds things together really nice. I don't know. It's my new secret weapon. I've been using it for months and months, but it's my new secret weapon. So I just layered these together here, added a little more tape to keep them together. And then you seen that I had my circle dies out. I put two of them together here. I wanted to make a little frame. I didn't line it up perfect. You'll see that the frame is kind of wonky a little bit. And I cut it out of the same black polka dot paper. That's some basil paper from a Pink and Main kit. And then I pulled this piece out from a Pink and Main paper pad, and it's kind of got that gradient. Beautiful blending. If you ever want to cheat on ink blending, those are the kind of papers to use. So here, these are all the pieces that I'm going to use to create my card. I layered the dinosaur on his little black border, and then I put this kind of faux ink blended panel here over top of the black in the background, and you've seen I cut the circle out because it disappeared. Now you don't even see it. So then I needed to like trim my rainbow, and I just trimmed that off with my paper cutter. See, that's how it's gonna look. Isn't it gonna be adorable? Like, I don't know. So I trimmed it off with my paper trimmer to the same width as the panel, that orange and yellow panel. And then I trimmed it down all these sentiment strips. I wasn't sure which one that I wanted to use, which is why I trimmed them or made them in different sizes. Like I said, one really nice thing about digital images is you can adjust the sizes of things. I really, really like that with the images that are separate. The ones that are kind of all in one sheet, I struggle because it's just so much work, but this made it super easy. And I think this stamp might still be, I think it's still available. I'm not sure if it's still free, but I will link it. And there'll be more information on my blog, which by the way, this is a blog hop. I know this is a video, but on my blog, which will also be listed below, there's a blog hop for this where other people have colored him up, and he's super cute. I am really excited to hop along and see how other people have colored him because he was absolutely funny. And I still might print him off on like multiple pieces of paper and cut him out. And even if I just use cardstock, colored, like cheap colored cardstock, he might be super fun to just put up on the front of my house right now. I think my neighbors would get a big absolute kick out of it. I talked through that, but I used some score tape to put the sentiment on, and then I put the circle on my dinosaur dragon, whatever he is, on Dudley, the toilet paper thief. And then I added a few black Nouveau drops here just to highlight the sentiment just a little bit. I thought it needed just a little more black. And then for the inside of my card, if you've been here this year at least, you know that I am finishing all the insides of my cards, and I am thankful to all of my content creators that I watch. Specifically Amanda at Rise and Procrastinate. She finishes the inside of cards, and it was the motivation I needed to do that. And I do like, I mean, this one doesn't have much in it. It has a little piece of paper, but it's something fun. Anyway, here's some close-ups of the card that I made. I would love to know what you think, and please go to my blog and hop along. I'm not sure. I actually don't know if there's any prizes. I don't think so. I think we just enjoyed ourselves. Thank you for stopping by. As I always say, give cards generously. Bye.